So in today's video we're going to be building TT Combat's billboard set from the City Cynics line. I'm just going to skip forward to having already taken all the parts out and cleaned them up. TT Combat don't always provide instructions for their kits, so I'm just kind of including this part where I build it, just to help anyone else out who's struggling to build it, but they're quite simple, and if you've built a few models you can kind of guess where the parts go. But yeah, I've sped up the footage to try and lower the amount of time it takes, but I'll probably put a timestamp in at the bottom here if you want to skip the build process. But if you're interested to see how it goes together, you can watch this section of the video. Just using your standard PVA glue, cheapest brand I can get my hands on. Obviously it's good to test fit those parts because obviously you start smothering them in glue and you don't always want to go together. Apologies for my camera going out of focus and my habit of not keeping things in camera shot. I'm quite new to recording myself building. I'm recording on my camera phone so the focus will auto focus out. You can see I'm just using a piece of the sprue to remove the excess glue here. As you can see, I'm trying to build it quickly whilst the glue is still sort of drying, because it's not dried and it needs to be put to one side. I suppose if you wanted to you could build it in sections, but I see no problem with just building the full thing straight away and then putting it to one side and letting it dry. Most of them will hold together. Most of the parts will hold themselves together long enough for the glue to dry, so you usually don't have to worry. That's why I just build mine quickly. I left these models overnight for the PVA glue to dry, and this is the finished result. I used Revell's Aquacolor steel paint. I put 2 coats on for a base coat. For the rust, I started with Revell's brown leather, and the idea is this was a dark brown that I just put into all little cracks and crevices where the water would build up and the rust would be build up. And then went over the top of this with Revell's rust colour, just dry brushing it on. And then went over the top of this with a Bron, I think it's called, brown. This is a very light orange almost brown. This is to kind of just go over the edges and the top surfaces to kind of make it look like the surface rust. So the billboards with the rust effects done, I've also added 2 signs. Obviously these are going to be for Fallout if you haven't guessed. I also went over the top of the 2 signs with a clear coat, a matte clear coat by Revell, so the paper doesn't soak up the wash and just become a complete mess. Here's the finished billboards with the wash applied. As you can see, they're meant for a Fallout animation that I'm hoping to do soon. Not too sure if these are going to get used in that animation, but I've got a few Fallout ones planned. This one is a reference to a Fallout YouTuber. Bonus internet points if you can guess who the YouTuber is. That's pretty much it. I'll do the slideshow. I hope you enjoyed the video.